Three, two, one. We are actually live this evening. Hello, everybody. This is Gabriel with ODE, Online Digital Education Mastery. And today is episode 69. That's going to be ongoing until forever. It is Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. And we are here today with Danny Scholes with Mindset Manifestation Mastery.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, listen, you're more than welcome. And today we're going to be talking about the subject, why do people stop themselves from being successful? So that is a question that we're going to ponder with Danny. But before we do that, let me tell you who Danny is, because Danny is somebody who I met, online last year, during the mid-pandemic zombie era. And we met in some kind of mastery group as well. And we've spoken a lot since. He is a sales mentor, a leadership coach with over 15 years experience. He's helping you, turn your pain into power. He specializes in sales training, branding, organic marketing, and mindset coaching. Find out how he rebranded himself online and generated over $18,000 in just 5 weeks without any paid advertising. So everybody, give it up for Danny Scholes. Welcome, Danny. Good to see you here today, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, man.
You're more welcome. And I really mean it when I say that, it's been so cool getting to know you because we've spoken a lot since. And, we pretty much started at the same time with Doug Bowden and ClickFunnels. And, we had a group together and we're still in the same group. And we actually talk quite frequently now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And I've seen your personal growth, and your personal growth is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it means a lot, man. I just try to make myself available to provide value and see, how I can help other people. Because that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. Making the connection, making people grow.
This pandemic area has given people an opportunity to do just that, right? To help others.
Yeah.
You're definitely one of those people who is like a pathfinder. You are paving the way in terms of helping people. I know that people appreciate you because I see it every day in your feed, and I love the comments that I read. I even contribute to a lot of them. So you're a mindset, specialist. Now, Let me read a quote from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. You can easily judge the character of a man by how he treats those who can do nothing for him. Now, this is a quote that resonates a lot in terms of mindset. Timeline reset is a gentle but, the most effective way, or can be one of the most effective ways of clearing negative emotions from past events that are holding back clients in their day-to-day living. Now, by clearing these negative emotions and limiting belief clients, lives start to thrive in just about every type of relationship. So, Danny, let me ask you. I see in your bio that it is your practice to do timeline reset.
Yes.
Can you explain what kind of mindset work you do and how does this help your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we should definitely start there because like with me, I like to mix, I have a background in sales, I have a background in running businesses and being a leadership coach, and I like to tie them all together with mindset because before I take on anyone for business coaching or even life coaching, it really all starts with the mindset. Because you can't really learn the tips to be successful if, there's a lot of limiting beliefs and things that are messing with your mind. So I became licensed as a timeline reset practitioner. And just to kind of start there, timeline reset, it's a transformational process. And it's achieved very quickly because what we're doing is we're working with your unconscious mind. So when I work with my clients, we do them in one-on-one sessions, and it allows me to really help them clear the intense charge around any negative emotions, like releasing stuck energy and trauma that is stored in our body. And in order to really change limiting belief systems that are holding you back in your life, and why is this important? Because, well, if trauma and wounding stay stuck in the body, we're going to experience stress and illness in one form or another. These symptoms are the body's way of really telling us that something's wrong, something needs to be healed. These limiting beliefs, they're a script that's really like running in the background of our lives. They dictate our actions, our behaviors, and these limiting beliefs, they've been created throughout our lives. Mostly it happens from when we're a child, right? The things that happen around us when we grow up, around our environment, and they're really put in place almost to keep us safe. Okay. So like, if you think about it, like perhaps you may have told yourself that you needed to be quiet and stay out of the way when you were a kid to keep yourself safe. This belief is still with you now, and it actually can hinder you from growing in your life or in your business. Maybe somebody told you when you were a kid that you weren't good enough. And now everything you try to achieve just never feels like it'll get done, right? And you could have decided like, maybe I'm not worthy or deserving of love or happiness or success. So you constantly now attract situations into your life that reflect this belief. So, whatever the story that's there that you've taken on, it's more than likely not serving the person you're designed to grow into. So this is why when we first start working, we need to really release and let go of this old programming, right? I work with my clients to really upgrade them into a more aligned way of being. So this way we're not stuck on this merry-go-round of this like mundane living mindset, right? And really playing it small. So I always say with my clients, like, let's start by accessing your highest potential. And what I do with Timeline Reset is I work with my clients to unlock their superpower. Okay, so the work I do, it looks to really upgrade the belief systems. We let go of the charges around the negative emotions, so that way you can start to allow more happiness and inspiration and connections that you build and even success into your life. So Timeline Reset, it works with the unconscious mind in a variety of ways. Okay, we talk about healing emotional traumas, eradicating maybe unwanted thoughts, emotions, or even behaviors. And these behavioral changes, we need to understand they take place at the unconscious level. So when we work at the unconscious level to release the effects of the past negative experiences and like change this inappropriate programming, then that process starts to begin to bring in like rapid results, right? And we can do this in a few sessions rather than days, months, or years, okay? So Timeline Reset training, it basically is a collection of techniques that really allows my clients to gain emotional control in their lives. So like these inappropriate emotional reactions, the sudden burst of anger, the periods of apathy, the depression, the doubt, the guilt, the anxiety, the shame, the chronic fear. Right. It's really what's responsible for preventing people from really going out there and achieving the quality of life that they desire. Right. So those limiting beliefs like I'm not good enough, I'm never going to be rich, I can't start a business, I don't deserve a great marriage, I don't deserve to be successful. This is what creates these false limitations, and it hampers our growth. And then you can't really reach attainable goals when you have these blindfold blockers up. I like to also call them blindfold blockers. So the Timeline Reset techniques really just allow us to kind of eliminate a lot of these issues, right? And then it allows my clients to really go forward, and then we can focus on business and other things, right? Because you just have to understand, I think like Freud put it best, our mind is like an iceberg, right? And if we break it down on that kind of a simple level, it's like the conscious mind, what we can control is the top of the iceberg. That's what you see peeking out of the water. Right. The unconscious mind that takes up the biggest part of this iceberg, that's underneath the surface.
Absolutely.
Right? So the prime directives of your unconscious mind, like let's really break that down first. The unconscious mind preserves your body. It's a servant. It likes to follow orders. It stores memories, okay? Basically, the unconscious mind is what saves you. It keeps us safe. Your conscious mind is kind of like the boss of a big company, right? And he tries to order the unconscious mind around, right? Because what does the boss do? He tries to order around all of his employees.
Yeah, he does.
Right? But what happens if the employees don't want to do the work the boss says? He's going to say, screw it, I'm not doing it, right?
You get a rebellion.
Exactly. So the unconscious mind is that employee that doesn't want to do it or just simply won't do it, okay? Right. And, not to bring like any offense to anyone, but it's kind of like someone who smokes, right? Like they know that consciously it's not good for them to be smoking. Right. Smoking stinks. It's expensive. But no matter what they do, they end up going back for that cigarette. And the reason being is because the unconscious mind is almost always going to win this silent battle. Because what the unconscious mind tells your conscious mind is, what do you mean, Danny? We always smoke. This is what relaxes me. This is our time. We need to go have this cigarette to calm down right now.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Right? So like until you really work with the issue unconsciously and you let the mind know that it's safe to let these things go, it's going to take so much longer for you to release the problem and actually see success, right? So it's like, when people are shy and they play small in life, it's due to their childhood.
Yeah.
As a baby, you got to understand, we're born with very basic emotions. We're not born judging other people, right?
Oh,
we're not born with shame or guilt or anxiety or even depression. There's no depression or anxiety gene, right? That's not in our DNA. Right. We learn this. We mimic it, right? It comes from maybe our parents, our environment, our friends growing up, or those that we may be closest to. We're not born doubting ourselves, right? Like when we're born, we're in this state of bliss, pure love with wonder and complete trust. But what happens is our unconscious mind over time, because remember, this is what keeps us safe. It starts to go into survival mode. That's the job of the unconscious. It holds all your memories and lessons and tries to keep you safe, right? So like imagine you have this beautiful baby girl that's born and she's full of laughter and love, right? And then this little girl grows into this very natural, energetic child. Lots to say, running around the house, laughing, right? And then all of a sudden she starts to get told, be quiet. We have company over. Stop talking. I have a business meeting. Stop running around the house. Right? She may even get like a smack on the hand. I told you, stop running around the house. And now naturally, the unconscious mind in that child puts her into a protection mode to quiet her down. And now when this girl gets older, she starts to feel shy. She gets called the shy one. She doesn't want to participate. And when this young girl grows into a woman and is now looking to get a job, to find a partner, to start a business, to make friends even, she literally finds it so hard, no matter how conscious she is of wanting to get over being shy. It's because her unconscious is not letting her get rid of it until she knows that it's safe to do. Does that make sense?
It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. I mean, we can easily access our conscious mind, right? But not with the unconscious mind. But you got to understand they're connected and it's all part of our conditioning. So the conscious mind contains the thoughts, the feelings, the memories that we acknowledge, while the unconscious mind consists of deeper mental processes that are not readily available to our conscious mind. And as we really delve deeper into the unconscious mind with the work I do with my clients, it's like we really find what's underneath. And what you find underneath is really the most problematic or painful points for people. Right? Because that's what holds the feelings and fears and secrets and repression, even insecurities. And we walk around in our daily lives just because we kind of have tunnel vision, really not even knowing certain things about ourselves because it really just exists so deep inside. Right? And it can control our way of lives and how we conduct ourselves. But it can also help us to unleash our potential once we learn how to tap into the unconscious. So when I start to coach my clients, we always go through the timeline reset first. Before I can ever coach you to get success in your business, it's like we really need to get rid of that emotional baggage. Just kind of make sure you're not looking at life with the blinders on anymore.
That's a fantastic, overview. Not just on the timeline reset, but, everything that everybody's listening to, even me, because as you're speaking, I'm thinking about, well, I remember when I was younger, my mother used to say things like, you know what, this is as far as we could go, mijo. We're poor, you can't do this. And it's like, wow. And that's something that actually carried over into my adulthood,
Yeah, of course.
And especially with, like you said, smoking. I know a lot of people, I smoked, and it was a hard thing to let go of, but yeah, it is a deep-rooted issue. It still is because it's part of the norm. And nobody knows how to make a distinguishment between what is normal and what really isn't. That big separation of clarity or reality, is huge. And then when we actually see that reality, and it's like, oh my God, like Russell Brunson says, like we've learned, that's that epiphany moment that we had, that we say, wow, it's like breaking those chains. You feel that superpower, and it's like, wow, I want to nourish that a little bit more now. And
Right.
it does make a difference in how successful one can become because of that. If you acknowledge your faults, and be humble about that, you can pretty much tackle the world, man, and move mountains. And that's the beautiful part of what you're saying. That's fantastic, Danny. Now, it's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. Roy Disney said that. Your 15 years experience has a solid track record of leadership coaching and mentoring. Your current program is a testament to that success. Others are learning from you. Can you shine a light on how you made $18,000 in 5 weeks?
Yeah, of course, man. I'm all about kind of just providing value. So let's kind of give away some of the secret gems, right? So, going into my background, I've been doing, high level sales and sales mentoring and leadership for the last 15 years. I would say even going on 18 years, right? I worked in the Empire State Building. I've had offices on Wall Street, and I've trained hundreds and hundreds of different agents, going from the rookie agent of the sales floor to hitting their first 6-figure income. So, transitioning online was kind of like a natural progression for me, because the biggest thing for me is like I wanted to have a healthy work and family life, and that just really wasn't happening being in high level sales environment, working 70, 80 hours a week in an office.
That easy.
So, and especially with, Corona hitting us back in March, like when we kind of first met, that's when I was first starting online. I said, you know what, I'm going to really take this opportunity, because I've always wanted to just step into my own power. But I kind of had my own limiting beliefs up. And I realize that now, because my limiting beliefs were, you don't need to start your own business. You're comfortable being the manager of the sales company. But at the end of the day, I still was working for somebody else, and I was spending so much time away from my kids, right? So I said, you know what, let me try to step into my power. Now, I could have easily just went online and started saying, hey, I've got this 18 years of sales experience and I've helped so many people. Let me just be your business coach. But I'm very big on walk it before you talk it. I wanted to see if I could go online first in a brand new industry and challenge myself to make money online. And I said, you know what, if I can start a brand new business and make money online, then I know I can really tap into my skill sets, which are helping people grow. And then I can transition into a business and mindset coach, right? So I said, let's try to do something completely brand new. Let's step out of our comfort zone. So I said, I wanted to be a fitness trainer. And I started a fitness business. And, when I first went online, it's kind of like when we first met, I was struggling a lot because, here I am. Remember, I'm this sales guy, right? I've been doing sales forever. And I just was like, I'm going to go online. I'm going to make so much money. It's going to be like this, like no problem. So I started jumping around into Facebook groups, and I started saying, hey, if you want to lose weight, I can help you. If you want to gain muscle, I can help you. Just buy my product, buy my coaching. And you know what happened? I didn't make any sales. And here I am. I'm like, oh man, what's going on right now? Right. So then I just kind of like stepped back and I just kind of looked at things from a different perspective. I said, you know what? Let me just really come from a place of being sincere. And let me tell my story a little bit. And I guess just to kind of give you guys a little bit about my background of why I even wanted to do fitness. So I've always been this like really fit guy, like I was a breakdancer in my early teens, which I guess kind of gave me confidence to start doing sales, right?
Well, New Yorker.
Yeah, I mean, in New York, I was like the kid in Times Square, dancing in the subways at like 13, 14 years old, right?
I might have seen you back then.
Yeah. Right, in the old stomping grounds, right? So I've always been fit, but then I got married and I had kids. And it's like, when you have children, now your full-time role of a father is more important than lifting the dumbbells for 2 to 3 hours a day in the gym, So like slowly it was just a progression. Like year over year, I just started gaining 10 pounds here and 20 pounds there. And then like literally this, like you guys see my profile picture, right?
Yeah.
This time last year, I was about 280 pounds.
You were bigger. Yes, I remember.
Okay. 280 pounds. And I really got into a deep depression. Like I really hated the guy that I saw in the mirror. It was like, it was terrible. You know, I didn't want to take my shirt off in the summer. I didn't want to go to the barbecues with the family. Like I literally didn't even want to play with my kids. I didn't have the energy to. And it just happened one day. Like my daughter was like, you know, she came home from gymnastics and she's like, Daddy, I'm getting like choked up. She's like, Daddy, I just wish you would play with me more. I wish you had more energy. And it was just like such a shot in the ribs, you know? Yeah. And I just decided right then and there, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get off my butt and I'm going to make this change. You know, I'm going to do this for my family. So I started getting into calisthenics workouts, body weight workouts. And what I was doing, I was going to the park early in the morning at 5 in the morning, doing push-ups and pull-ups, right? And at first, like, I'm 280 pounds. I can't even do one freaking push-up, and it killed me because I used to be able to lift so much weight in the gym. Sure. Right? But I stayed with it, you know, and over the course of a whole year, I lost 85 pounds. That's where you see that, you know, profile picture where I'm flexing, right? And I realized at that point, like, there's a lot of other parents that are struggling the same way that I did. And maybe they just don't have somebody that can kind of guide them, you know? Right. So that's when the epiphany came for me. And I said, you know what, let me go into these groups and actually start to tell my story. And that's when I came up with this kind of like paradigm shift. I said, you know what, my slogan is going to be, I can help the fat dad become super dad. And I can help parents gain more energy with their kids. And once I really started coming from that place of vulnerability and telling my story and starting to provide value to the targeted clients I was reaching at, that's when the sales took off. And essentially it led me to getting $18,000 in 5 weeks, right? But it just comes down into a process. It's not just go tell your story and that's it. Like you really have to kind of, you know, put certain pieces of the puzzle in place. Like first, I would go into the groups and I would start to tell my story so I could, you know, really just become this person. I would become like the life of the party there. Okay. Right. And naturally, if you're in a Facebook group and somebody just puts out like an amazing post with some amazing value, just blows you away, what are you going to do? As a human, we're just going to be like, who the hell is Danny Skulls? Who the hell is Gabe? Let me check out their profile. Right. Yeah. Let me click on that. But the thing is, you got to understand, people have a 3-second attention span, right? So if your regular profile just looks like, you know, your cover photo is a picture of mountains, right? And, you know, there's a picture of the beach in the background. It's like, okay, yeah, this guy gave me a great post. I'm just going to keep scrolling on my journey and see you later, right? So what I did instead was I took my cover photo and I turned that into a Vegas billboard. I put my slogan and I said, I can help the dads go from fat dad to super dad. Click to join my group. And basically what I was doing is I turned my Facebook profile into a funnel. So I would go in the group, I would provide value. And then as they checked me out, they would go to my cover photo and say, hey, click to join my group. And then I would funnel them to my party. So I went to the party where they hung out. I became the life of the party and I brought them to my party. That was one way that I was building value, okay? The second way was after I was in these groups for a few weeks, okay, and I was like dropping these posts of value, giving out some free health tips, like here's a way that you can get 8 glasses of water a day, right? Here's a way you can work up to doing 50 push-ups a day, just kind of like really providing value. Right. After about 2 to 3 weeks, I just dropped what I call a lead magnet, right? And this is, again, kind of how we met up through the ClickFunnels thing. Correct. I created a lead magnet in ClickFunnels, which was my Super Dad cookbook. I got a copy. Right. There you go. Right. So now, you know, basically I dropped that post in the group one day. You know, I had this feeling. I was like, I've been warming up the group for about a couple of weeks. I feel really good. So I went ahead and I dropped this post. They said, hey, dads, I just finished my Super Dad cookbook. If anyone wants a copy, just drop a comment below. That one post got me 850 leads that all took my lead magnet. Awesome. And then from that funnel process of giving them the free book, obviously the next page of my funnel was, hey, you know, maybe you want a meal plan. Sell that for $20. Right. And then the next page was the thank you page. Hey, so thank you for picking up your free copy of this meal plan. But wait, there's more. Right. Are you a dad that's struggling? Well, have no fear. D Skulls is here. What I'm offering right now for the first 10 dads that click on the link below and sign up in my calendar is a free workout session where I'm going to actually coach you on the tips that I use to lose 90 pounds in 12 months. But you have to act right now. You have to be the first 10 guys that click the link below. And I literally got hundreds of people clicking that link. And just because I was providing value and really coming from a place of don't just buy my stuff, let me see if I can really help you and make a connection with you.
Right.
That's what turned into an $18,000 5-week blast on the internet. And then from there, I just said, you know what? Now I know what I'm doing. And that's when I really started training other business owners. I started with fitness trainers. I started helping affiliate marketers. Now I'm helping all kinds of people, life coaches, comedians, business owners, affiliate marketers. I'm even working with people selling essential oils. Like no matter what industry you're in, I can help you. And I'm proof that it's actually capable of happening.
Right. That's fantastic, man. It all starts, like I said, the sincerity of I want to help somebody. I have something of value that I can't offer somebody, give them a break. Exactly what I do with teachers, in transitioning from teachers to teacherpreneurs. And, it's the love for the people, man. We are so accustomed to believing all the hype, all the scams, all the shiny objects that we see on the internet, the get rich quick schemes. And when we see this type of sincerity, a lot of people are like, whoa, what's in it for, what do they really want from me? People are hesitant for that, but they actually step up to the line. And once they see what's really there, they just dive in 100%, because it's a no-brainer at that point, I've had a lot of conversations that were built up based on this genuineness. And it's actually a lot more refreshing than just having somebody, knock on your messenger window and be like, hey, you want to earn $1 million in Bitcoin tomorrow? Send me $1,000.
Yeah. I don't
want to talk to this guy.
Right.
What the hell is this?
Right. It really just comes down to how you approach people, right? Like if you approach them from that place of just buy my stuff or just take my stuff, they're going to see right through that BS and you're not going to make a sale. You're not making a connection. Yeah. Try actually building some connections with people. Try actually giving some value out before you just try to sell them something. And you'll see such a big difference in your business.
I kick people out quickly out of my groups or, my messenger immediately. You friend me with that, I kick you out and block you. I keep moving forward because, like I say every day when I go live, I only deal, and I say this on my disclaimer, I only deal with highly ethical, high value educators. If you're not high value and highly ethical, you and I we're not going to vibe, get away.
Right.
So Les Brown is a motivational speaker that I really enjoy listening to. I really enjoy listening to you too, my friend. But Les Brown is somebody who says two things that I really like vibe with. Okay, one is there is no secret to success. There's a system to success. But lately, when I've been listening to him, he says you were chosen to do great work, the greater work, and that takes courage. And courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to take action regardless of the circumstances. Now, to be successful, you need to have courage to bring your dream to reality in spite of the obstacles. Now, this may sound like a simple question, but it really isn't. Why do you think people fail with their businesses?
I mean, it's a few things, right? Like they fail because of their mindset sometimes. They fail because of their belief system. They simply fail because they're not providing value, right? Like we just talked about, hey, buy some Bitcoin. Hey, buy my product, right? They fail because they're not authentic and they're not building connections. And really, it just comes down to a lot of people fail because they're talking through their client and they're not talking to their client. Okay. Right. So it really, when I first start working with my clients in like the business mindset side of things is number one, we want to reframe your thoughts, because we know like some people thrive in their lives while other people struggle. And it really just comes down to how you interpret your life's challenges. Successful people, they can effectively reframe their experiences because they're replacing unhelpful thoughts with more positive ones, just like I told you with the whole timeline reset kind of mindset shift. Right. So we all know you can't control what happens to you, right? But you can control how you react to it and how you transform from it. So when you change your thinking, you can unlock self-affirming feelings and actions that are needed to create more of this empowering life. The next time you find yourself like spiraling into this self-deprecating behavior, literally stop yourself, like shift your narrative, right. Reframe your thinking. Like it's not, what if I would fail? Why don't you think, what if I would fly? Right? Sure. Like if you want to change your life and you want to be successful, you have to start by changing your beliefs first, like by shifting your thoughts, because you automatically put yourself into a more empowering state of mind when you do that. And then the second thing is become mindful of the words that you speak. Like, what are you really putting out for the universe to see, right? Like, you are where you are today just because of what you've been saying to yourself your whole life. You know, and if you tell yourself I'm not good enough, you're going to act from that belief system.
Right.
Your words are strongly connected to your future self. So it's time for you to really be your best friend. And a lot of us aren't our best friends, right? A lot of us try to care about so many other things, but we really don't take time to think about who we are.
Right.
So if you really think these negative thoughts and you're like speaking them out loud, I'm never going to be successful. I don't know what I'm doing. This is just too hard for me. It's like you're attracting that same energy right back into your life.
Right.
You know, you can't talk about how much you lack and then expect to have abundance, right? So eventually the negative state of mind becomes your reality. And this is how the law of attraction works.
Correct.
You have to keep in mind that just because a negative thought pops into your focal, like your forefront, it doesn't mean that you must believe it. Do not allow negative words to prevent you from becoming the person that you were destined to be. If you want to live a successful life, you need to think positive thoughts. You have to have positive affirmations you put out into the universe. And this starts with learning how to reprogram your mind for positive thinking. And the best way to foster more of this like loving relationship with your inner self is to simply practice positive affirmations, right? Like as you start to speak out these empowering words and you start to love yourself and be your best friend, then over time you're going to start to believe that these things can be true and success can come to you. And more importantly, success is going to start running to you, okay? You know, it's like I tell people all the time, willpower is just like a muscle. Just like you go to the gym and you train to get the muscles, you need to do the same thing with your willpower, with your discipline. If you want to build on your mental strength, then you have to make a habit of flexing these skills on a daily basis. Stop playing life small, right? So like a lot of people just kind of assume like development of willpower and discipline, it just requires all of this strain. It's too hard for me. And that's why I run away from things. Anything that feels difficult usually creates this like unnecessary pain, you know, that pit in your stomach. But you got to realize sometimes we have to go through the pain. We have to jump into the fire, right?
That's a superpower.
You have to, exactly. The very thing that you don't want to do is the very thing you need to do.
Right, exactly.
You can't be scared of stepping out of your comfort zone, guys, right? And you're going to see that as soon as you really start to challenge yourself, that you can tackle anything that you set in front of you. You know, if you want to succeed in life, you have to be willing to do things that are hard. Like, ask yourself, what are you really doing in your life right now that is actually hard? Right? Like, you don't grow by doing things that are comfortable. We don't grow by playing it safe. You have to be willing to level up. Challenge yourself and you're going to reach success. You know, think about it. The more you push yourself to do things that kind of suck for you right now in your mind, the stronger you're going to become. And you have to like really keep in mind that when you step outside of this place, of this comfortable area, and you really start to embrace your power, things do not become overwhelming to you anymore. And the way you do that is really stepping out. The best approach is to do it slow. You know, like just kind of same way you start in the gym. You're not lifting 100 pounds right away. You start with the 10-pound dumbbells. You work your way up. Right. So do things on a small basis. Like, you know what? I tell my clients all the time, why don't you start by taking cold showers? And they're like, wait, what? What do you mean cold showers? Yeah. The last 5 minutes of your shower, try to put the cold on. Maybe you're going to start for 30 seconds. And you're going to feel freezing. And then the next day you do 60 seconds. And then over time, now the whole shower is cold. Right. And over time, little things like that is what kind of creates this mental toughness. And this mental toughness is what transcends into all other aspects of your life and your business. So I guess to leave off that question, guys, sharpen your sword daily. And that's where you're going to get results.
I sharpen my sword every day. Every day that I teach. Absolutely, man. You know, everything that you're saying just vibes exactly with the way it should be. You know, if you're going to get involved with your own life and you're going to do the greater work, you can't be afraid to face yourself along the way. You got to kick your own ass to move forward, you know? And at the end of the day, you're still going to come out a champion, and that's what you want to do. You want to be able to move the old you out of the way, knock them out, and just transcend. That transformation is actually a beautiful thing, you know? And remember, you were chosen to do the greater work. We were not chosen, and we weren't born, you know, to oppress our own minds or to allow society to oppress us. You know, that's just, it's not the way it goes. It's not the way it should be.
Right.
If anybody remembers and loves comedy, George Burns is one of my favorites. May he rest in peace. He said, I honestly think it is better to be a failure at something that you love than to be a success at something that you hate. Even though it's a simple question, okay? And many people overlook it as well. Hating your day job or wanting to be your own boss are valid reasons for becoming an entrepreneur. But it may not be enough to carry you through the inevitable challenges that come with, you know, an entrepreneur's life. Why do people want to become an entrepreneur?
I mean, there's so many different reasons, right? I mean, I guess the biggest reason is you can't leave a legacy working a 9 to 5, can you? Right? So that's why a lot of people tend to start businesses, because they want to pass it on to their loved ones, their family, their children, right? They want to set a good example. But I just feel like you really have to establish your why, because that's what's the most important. Like, is it that you want to have financial freedom?
Right.
Do you want to enjoy your life? Is it that you just don't want to make your boss rich anymore? Right. Or is it something like, you know, is it versus the fact that I want to be a positive role model? You know, I genuinely want to serve other people and I want to provide value to other people. I want to help make a world a better place, right? Like, just ask yourself, do I really want to help other people grow? And if you can't answer that, then you shouldn't start a business. Sure. Maybe not why people want to start a business. Let's talk about, like, who should be in business. It's the people that want to help others, right? And you got to ask yourself, like, can I really be a bridge to my client's pain point? Can I get them to a place of pleasure? So don't become an entrepreneur for the wrong reasons, guys, right? It's not a get rich quick kind of thing. Like, if you don't care about your clients, this isn't for you. Right. I need you to sit down and just have a long conversation with yourselves first. Just kind of look in the mirror, right? And just put your intentions out into the universe and then decide to take action from there, okay?
Excellent. I agree with you. You know, don't be an entrepreneur if you're not willing to put in the hard work, because it is a lonely road. It is a long road. You know, it is the hard work that you were chosen to do. You know, if you want to reap that benefit, and the benefit is not the money, it's the people that you actually help along the way. You know, that's the true benefit. That's the beautiful thing about it. You're actually helping people. They actually, you know, become a better person because of whatever you're teaching them, showing them, sharing with them. That is a true entrepreneurial spirit. Woody Allen is one of the greatest filmmakers out there. And he said once, if you're not failing every now and again, it's a sign that you're not doing anything very innovative. Unsuccessful people tend to say things like, I'm just not good with numbers, or I just really hate studying, and I just don't think I can run a successful business. They put limits on themselves and excuse their behavior, but it's really just a way of underachieving and aiming low enough to not miss. Are people willing to do what scares them and risk failure?
Oh, all right. So the last one's a hard question, huh? So, I mean, you know, it just comes down to, you really have to be open to taking risks. Yeah. You know, no risks and no rewards, right? Just like they always say. Right. And you know, you got to understand, like, when we take risks sometimes, yeah, of course we're going to fail. Yeah. But the key is to fail forward. You know, like, everybody makes mistakes, and you have to realize that's part of what makes us human. Like, guys, I make mistakes every day in my business, okay? But you know what? Failure is my biggest asset, because if I didn't fail, I wouldn't have gotten stronger, right? When I first went online and I was trying to just sell everybody everything, that didn't work. So I failed, and I learned how to adapt.
Right.
It's what you do with failure that's going to make you or break you, right? Failure is going to tell you what works and what doesn't work, so that way you can improve and get better. Nobody likes to make mistakes. I know that it causes pain. I totally get it, right? But just because you fail at something doesn't mean you're a failure.
Right.
Failure makes your mind trick you into believing things that aren't true.
And that's part of that subconscious thing.
Exactly. It all ties back into mindset.
You start to believe that, and it's like,
why do you think my group is called Mindset Manifestation Mastery? Everything ties into your mind.
Correct.
Okay? So you have to change your relationship with failure, guys. Leverage your failure. Use it as a tool to motivate you to get better every day. Okay? Look at failure, whether it's in success or in life, as an actual lesson. But more importantly, never stay comfortable. Like always, like, you're the teacher, right, Gabe? Always have the student mentality.
Right.
So when you come from a place of wanting to uplift others, the universe is always going to provide back for you guys. So I guess we'll leave this question with this. It really just comes down to the meaning of fear. What do you think the meaning of fear is? Are you going to face everything and run? Or are you going to face everything and rise?
You're only a failure if you quit. That's what Emma says. And I agree with her 100%.
Yep. Exactly. Emma's a rock star. She's been killing it. Killing it. I'm so proud of you, Emma.
That's fantastic. Look, everybody fails every day. I've had my share of failures. I lost my hair because of failure, and I'm still here. And the reason why I'm still here is because I do believe in myself. And a lot of people along the way of their little scrapes, knee bends or whatever, that's just enough for them to say, oh, I don't want to feel that pain again. There's no success without pain.
Right.
You got to go through this pain, and like you mentioned, and we've talked about in the past privately, getting into that discomfort, uncomfortable zone. That's where you get to really understand who you are, what you're made of. That's really how you're going to find out if you're going to make or break yourself. I'd rather make myself with pain, with failure, because actually, not that I'm glutton for punishment, but it's exciting as hell, and it makes for a really good story at the end of the day. There's no fun in just saying the same boring things all day long, which is I'm whining, I got hurt, this happened. You know what? I got hurt, I got up, and I went back out there.
Exactly.
I've been in Ecuador since 2017 because I got my ass kicked here. I'm still here, but I'm still fighting my way out of here. And along the way, I've experienced a lot of interesting things, which I'll tell you about privately because, it's amazing for me. But, I'm not convinced that this is my end game here. I know it's not, and it all started when I first got here. But see, I got online, I got my teaching education, and I started to teach online kids in China. And through this process, the self-healing and the understanding that I'm a lot better than what this country has to offer, I've been making strides. And, quite frankly, I've made some money, and I'm not unhappy with that. I just might stay too, So as I keep paddling along, I'm going to fail some more. But you know what? That experience, that failure, that lesson, that's my superpower. That's everybody's.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what makes you stronger.
Move forward, man. Yeah, exactly. Move forward. Embrace it. Love it. At the end of the day, really, nobody's going to give you a tissue and say, here's a tissue for your issue. None of that. Okay? I use that with some of my students. You want a tissue for your issue? Because you either get in gear, okay, and accept that nobody's perfect, okay, and you're going to live with your mistakes. All right. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's actually could be pretty cool, man. And the next time we're all together at a party, we get to talk about these kind of things.
There you go.
So, Danny, look, we're at the end. Does anybody have any questions for Danny? If you do, let me know. I'm going to post them right now. If not, you can hashtag, on the link itself, on the live, on the comments. And if anybody is interested in joining, and you should be thinking, not even thinking about it, make that decision already. You join Mindset Manifestation Mastery with Danny Scholes, it's the best thing that's going to happen to you, because he's going to set your mind straight. He's going to bring you back to your unconscious mind when you were in Pampers, okay, and feeling like all messed up because, I don't know, somebody spanked you, and he's going to set you straight. And when he does, you're going to be happy that he did, okay, because it's going to push you forward in life, and it's going to give you the kind of life that you are most deserving of. So go ahead and embrace it and do the greater work. Don't be afraid to do that. All right. Remember, you need a tissue for your issue. You get no sympathy from me.
Yeah, well, Gabe, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on your platform. You're a great guy, and I just love seeing your journey over the last year. We've both been growing, and it's just really a pleasure to see, man. And just the fact that you even offered the opportunity for me to come on here, I just really love to be able to share my story with people. By all means, guys, if this resonated with you in any way, join the Mindset Manifestation Mastery group. We talk about mindset, we talk about sales, we talk about business, but in my community, we really support each other. And it's all about really lifting everybody up. Like, Gabe, you're in the group and you see it. Everybody's posting each day and they're lifting each other up. Like, oh, I just got another client. Everyone's cheering in the group. And it's all about really just uplifting each other up. So, come on in, guys. We'd love to have you in the community.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure, man. And, I'm glad that we're doing it now, because I don't think I was ready the first time that we talked about going live together. I was still sorting out, my message, and my message is clear, So I'm glad that we're doing it now, and we should do this again.
Yes.
Sometime this year. This pandemic is not going away. This is a zombie era. So if we got time this year, let's do it again. We'll talk about something else, and we'll keep just helping people out the best we can.
Absolutely. Next time the roles will be reversed. Maybe I'll throw you on my podcast and I'll interview you. So it'd be good to see, man, because, you got a great story too, and you definitely provide a lot of value to other people. So thank you. Thank you again for having me, my brother. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And for everybody watching, if you want to join Danny's group and you need the link, you can, make that comment, send it to me, #send it on my link, on this video, or, ask Danny if you know him directly, but one way or the other, we'll get that link to you, and don't think about it. Just go ahead and ask for it. Okay, you'll be happy that you did. All right, my friends. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Next time. This is ODE Mastery, Facebook group of teachers that collaborate with teachers to ascend the value ladder. My name is Gabriel. Until next time. Thank you, Danny. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, man. All righty.